I know, I feel like you have to have like digital hands or some shit. Because like, if you think about doing it and it sounds so easy to do, you're like, yeah, I'm just gonna edit something.
Right.
And then it actually is like 20 steps, even though it's like super simple.
Everybody online makes it seem like it's like 10, 10 easy steps or like, 5
Right.
steps. Just open up your YouTube, record something with like any recording software on your laptop and you're good to go. And then they don't tell you the magic behind it. The magic that takes 50 plus steps to complete. That's the secret they're hiding from you. That's the downside.
Yeah, that's for real. It's all the fucking Googling.
God.
How the fuck do I do this?
That is one thing that I've just been wanting to do for like a really long time. Just make YouTube videos, post, like even after like watching like all the gaming stuff as a kid, I was like, oh man, I want to be a YouTuber. And I'd pretend to do like YouTube stuff with my cousin, and like I would even pretend to do stuff on my own. Like I would record like video games on the Xbox and like talk into my phone.
Yeah.
To try and splice them together with iMovie. I'm like, oh, it's working.
Yo, iMovie was like the OG shit as a kid.
I
feel like that's what got kids into YouTubing. I feel like low key.
I loved iMovie. It was really simple. It was easy to work with. I used iMovie up until like, God, what was it? Like last year, and so I like until I found like CapCut on TikTok, and I was like, oh, everybody's using CapCut now. I'm stuck in like 2010. I gotta go back a little bit, and then I realized that I needed to switch over. So that's exactly what I did. But CapCut's like,
oh my gosh.
CapCut's like an expanded version of iMovie, so it's actually kind of easy to use. There's just a lot more like visual effects and other things.
All this Mac shit, man. Like I don't like CapCut. What the fuck is that? I'm sure it's great,
Well,
but I'm using like DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci, I haven't even heard of that. Good lord.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're on the Mac shit, I'm on the Windows shit, and we're just on two separate islands.
So you're familiar with iMovie, right? Like
yeah. I use it on my iPhone. I used to, like when I was like in middle school, I had an iPhone.
So what's the bridge between that? What you said, I already can't remember what it was. What was it? It was like, what do you use now?
DaVinci Resolve.
DaVinci Resolve, yeah, exactly.
yeah.
What's the bridge between that and iMovie? Like, what's the difference there?
Well, I'll say iMovie is definitely more user friendly, but you can't do a fifth of the shit in DaVinci Resolve. And that's a double-edged sword, because you look at DaVinci Resolve and you're like, what the fuck is on my screen? It's like Audacity level of like, I don't know what to press or what to do. Everything is just a jargon word.
Right.
But you can like make like a full budget movie with that shit, and it's free.
Oh my god.
Like you can just use it.
Yeah.
Also, you gotta have a nice computer. Your CPU cannot be a boo-boo CPU.
I'm assuming Mac. It's not available for Mac.
I mean it might be, but
Ooh.
I'm not sure.
I'll have to look into it.
I know it's like third-party software.
Because I got this thing for class for school, and it's like called Windows Parallel or something, and basically it's like it gives you a second, like a second desktop that's connected to your Mac.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Like Mac Cloud.
Yeah.
Where I can emulate a Mac.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like I have a Windows platform desktop on my Mac, and all I have to do is like switch tabs, and it's basically there. And I just open it like a Mac app. So like all of my like important stuff goes there. Like I've been using like coding software for school in there. So even if I can't get that for MacBook or like any Apple device, then I'm probably just gonna get it on there, because I've been able to download like a lot of Windows stuff with that like parallel desktop. So it's perfect.
That does sound nice. I recently learned about the Mac one. I mean, I've known about them like forever, but at the time I didn't know like how to do that. And now I'm like, oh shit, this is super easy. And now it's even 2021. Like it's mad easy.
Right. Yeah. But I haven't gotten into the whole world of like editing and stuff like that. So I want to like try to like dive into it and eventually just kickstart like a gaming thing. Don't know what I would do, but
well, Anyway, we should probably start this thing.
That's good. This is what just happened was a good content for the stream.
Oh yeah,
I'd throw that in somewhere.
It's the pre-clap. It's pre-clap topics, and then we get into the real meat of the episode.
Perfect. All right.
At least that's how things are turning out.
Yeah. All right, let's do the clap.
All right. 3, 2, 1, clap. Oh wait, I said clap. I forgot my clap doesn't come through.
I did clap. I don't know if it picked up.
I did hear your clap.
Perfect.
Hopefully, me saying clap and that clap joined up. Anyway,
I think that worked.
Welcome to the Dungeon Dwellers podcast, episode 1, riding the high of episode 0, straight into episode 1. How are we feeling? Should we keep doing the podcast? Should we just nip it in the bud? Where do we go from here?
I'm proud of it. I want to see what everybody online says. Again, this is Magic Man speaking from the other side. But as you can probably hear, or maybe that you can't hear, we're the only two available right now.
Yes, that's true. Him, Magic Man, and me, Brandon, Maui, whatever you like.
We knew these days would come. This is just a thing. You know, you gotta work with what you got, who's available. But I haven't heard from a lot of people.
We hoped it would be further down the road, but alas, it's here.
It happens. But I'm proud of everything we're doing, everything we're bringing to the table. So let's get episode 1 rolling.
All right. So start looking up some questions, good questions to ask.
Ooh. I feel like we should almost do like a
ask a guy.
Oh, ask a
girl.
A gal.
Ask a poet.
Ask an actor, if you will, somebody of importance.
Ooh.
I feel like we should do like a parallels thing, you know, where it's like the difference between a young adolescent such as myself and somebody who's already got it kicked off, and somebody who's living the adult life, who can give some practical insights, you know.
Okay, I see.
I'm very, very curious about the adult world.
Interview questions for actors and actresses. So here we go. In your budding stardom here on this podcast, did you like acting since childhood?
I did. I did. Acting was like my favorite thing to do. I attended all the theater classes, all the clubs after school. It was just my favorite. It was my favorite thing to do. I'm not in the theater.
Yeah. I can't tell if you're being genuine or not.
No, I've never done theater in my life. I am only an actor when it comes down to D&D. That's about it.
Okay.
Everything else is just true and genuine.
Did you enjoy it as a child, at least?
Yeah, in a way, I did.
The way like every child does. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, like
that's at least that's how it was for me.
Playing like characters and parts and stuff like that. Yeah, I enjoyed that so much. It was almost like an everyday thing for me. Just kind of running around with the neighborhood kids, like deciding like, oh, who's who from this show, and then trying to pretend like you're them. That was dope. That was fun.
Okay, so here we go. I got a nice curveball for you coming up. Is life always better than a nice movie?
In my 19 years of experience, sometimes, yeah. There's a lot of good things that happen in life so far. I haven't really gotten into the tax world yet, so we're about to find out. But it's interesting to live that part of life where it's like, oh, you know, you can enjoy things while you're young. You can be who you want to be. You can figure out what you want to do when you grow up, and what occupations you want to try to get into, and you can watch as like things slowly change from time to time. But that's just the reality of life. Like, it's like you're 11 years old, you want to be a cop, but you know, you might not feel the same when you're 17. When you're 17, you might want to join the military, or you want to be a doctor. As you get closer to like the reality of what life could actually be, then it's a little bit difficult to follow along. So, in the movie standpoint, maybe a movie kid wants to grow up to be a cop and he doesn't. That's just,
Okay.
but it
So
just changes as it
so
goes
basically,
along.
like movies are just way off. Like they're not even like relatively
Oh
close
yeah,
to real life.
a lot of times movies are very off in the way things are portrayed in life, and that kind of leads people to think like, oh, I can live life like a movie, until that gets them in trouble. Like, I'm the main character of this movie, and then they realize it's real life and it's not a movie.
All right. Final question. This was a real relevant one.
Oh,
Tell us something about your podcast, the Dungeon Dwellers podcast.
what about? Like, just anything in general, or like how I
I don't
feel
know.
about it, or
This is one of the questions on there. I thought it would be
oh, I
interesting.
see. It is an interesting question. Something about the podcast. We get into a lot of crazy topics. We do. And I love it because it sends us off like tangents, and it gets us spiraling down like this path of just conversation, and it feels like you can kind of go for hours on it.
I mean, like, what kind of crazy are we talking? Are we talking like, bring Hitler back crazy, or like,
No, the
like,
good kind of crazy, like the 2 a.m.
like,
like talks with your boys kind of crazy at a sleepover kind of crazy.
oh, okay.
Where it's like it's all fun and games until one homie says something really deep and philosophical, and then you guys sit there with like your fingers crossed for the next 4 hours just talking about it, and then you just string off in tangents, and you're like, oh yeah, I totally agree. I agree. It's a deep combo. Sometimes we have deep combos, which is cool. But I love it. I couldn't be more happy doing a podcast.
All right, I lied. That wasn't the last question. This is the last
Oh,
question.
no.
Who should not come see this show?
Who should not come see this show? Anyone with a weak stomach and a weak mindset. I feel like we're gonna say a lot of things that are gonna make some people angry. So if you are one of these people, turn away.
If you're easily angered, this podcast is not for you.
Pointed to you, Karen. I would stay away. This isn't your Sunday podcast, Karen.
This isn't about Jesus here. We get into the real topics, the real nitty gritty of it.
Yeah,
like butternut
squash. Totally real topics. Or totally real sponsors, butternut squash. Hope you're watching. Hope you're enjoying everything we're doing.
Shout out to Big Butternut.
God, I love it. It's the type of stuff that I like to do. Like anything that's just like, it's just random. There's no scheduling to this. Anybody who thinks we're like sitting at home, just like thinking like, oh, we should write down everything we do at the podcast. We think we should just like make a schedule. We should talk about this at this time, this timestamp during the podcast. It's just no. We show up on Sunday and we're here.
Literally, I forget to send a reminder until like 7 o'clock and record at 8.
When
so nobody shows up.
You sent the who's down for the podcast tonight message at 9:10, which was only a few hours ago for me at least. So that's 7, 10, yeah.
Yeah, 7, like 7:10. It's like not nearly enough prep time.
Oh man. Let's see here. So now I have the questions for you, Brando.
All right.
I'm gonna ask you some big dog questions, big brother questions. I'm trying to get good insight on things because I'm growing up, so I'm trying to see. So let's see.
Trying to find the wisdom.
Exactly. I need to find the wisdom. So, in your totally honest opinion, what's life like after like 21? You make it to 21. The next exciting thing is like, oh hey, I'm now legally able to drink. It's 21. 21 years of life. What comes next? Like what's the next step after that? Because after that I'm just it's just a bunch of numbers.
I think I have a great analogy for this. You ever seen like how paint looks when you do a paint stroke?
Mm-hmm.
How it kind of like pulls in the beginning, and then it kind of like, sometimes if you have different colors, it like mixes together while you do the paint stroke.
Yeah.
you see, it all just blends together. You hit 21, and it can go a number of ways. You can become an alcoholic. Not that you couldn't before, but you definitely can now.
You can now legally. You can now. Yeah.
And in that way, that smudge is very brown. It's there's not a lot of change in it. There's really no light to it. But there's a lot of different colors that you can choose to put into that smudge. But no matter what, it's gonna go by way too fast, and you're gonna find yourself at the end of that stroke looking back and seeing what you got.
Right. So is there like what is it? Is there any like benefit to being 22? Because like there's like mile markers for like in your teens, like 16. Hey, I can get my permit now. 18. I can drive, and I'm like legally an adult now. This is like the adult thing. That's why I realized like just up like a year ago, I was like, wow, 18. It's crazy that I'm now having to do taxes with my father. I have to figure out what that actually means. But then you get to 21. Like I said, they like legally able to drink, and then after that, it's just like, what's next? I feel like the big thing is just like 30, but I don't know if that's just a thing that I made up, or I don't even know what happens at 30.
It's pretty much nothing exciting. It like progressively gets downhill, and as the years go by, you're just like counting how far down you've gone, and you look back and you're like, people stop expecting you to be fun.
Mm.
They start expecting you to be boring, so you just slowly become boring.
Right. And that's like actually like I wouldn't say it's like one of my biggest fears, but it is like a thing that I think about, because like as I grow up, I'm like expected to do things like a specific way. Like I can't like continue to do them the way I want to do them, or at least not in the eyes of like society, because our society is like, oh, you do this, you go to school, get your degree, start working, work all day, go to bed, wake up, shower, do it again, and it's just like I feel like I want to do that with something that I actually enjoy doing in a way. Like I don't know if I want to like get into like an occupation where I'm just like tired all the time and I'm like, I don't know if this is the thing for me. And I wake up every day hating it, and then it's like, more to your point, like you said, it just gets boring every day. Like you wake up, you're like, same thing, different day. Like, so how do I hold on to that? Do you have any idea of how to like hold on to like the wonder of just doing something your own way?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. Keep in mind, my perspective is I'm about to crest onto the apex of the roller coaster, and then it's gonna like shoot down. So I'm like this. I'm filled with anticipation,
Mm-hmm.
and then by the time I hit my 30s, it'll probably just like rail downwards horribly. But maybe it won't. Regardless.
Yeah, some optimism. Yeah, have optimism.
Yeah. I think you just got to get out there, like keep doing shit that you're interested in, If you feel like there needs to be a change it up. See what happens. I mean, fortune favors the bold, right?
Mm. Yeah.
So I mean, yeah. So I think just that's the adding color, right, to the smear.
Right. Kind of mixing it up as you go along, and
right.
I've done a lot of like changes to school, I guess I would say. Like I changed my major, not very much. It was like environmental science, which I like thought I could do like technical science with. Then I realized I had to do like engineering to get that technical science, so I switched over to engineering. Now I'm thinking about switching over to business because I want to have my own business at some point. So I'm like doing a lot of changing, and usually in college that's not a good thing. People are just like, you don't want to change too much too often because I gotta like save credits or something. I don't really know how it works. I'll be honest.
Oh, you mean like changing like your classes and everything?
Yeah. So like I change my classes a lot apparently, and I'm like they're like, oh, you gotta sort of stick to one, otherwise your credits don't stack up or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like everyone does that. I know like my stepdad did that and I did that and Lindsay did that.
Yeah.
I think it's tough because especially coming out of high school, you're really battling with like, well, what do other people want for my future versus what do I want for my future?
Right.
And, and then you go to college, and a lot of people, they move out to college. So they live in a whole nother lifestyle, just very suddenly. So I think change is very natural to happen.
Right, yeah. I don't know even what I'm going to do.
And I guess,
there.
like, it's, like, bad in a sense, right? But, I mean, it's unavoidable, What are you going to do? Work somewhere that you hate?
Mm-hmm.
Because it was more efficient to do it that way?
Right. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to find, like, efficiency and, like, something that's enjoyable, and trying to blend them together is, it's interesting to try and find something like that, because every time you, like, look up something that you want to do, it's hard to find people who are, like, actually doing it. And people are like, and my dad always says, like, oh, you need to, like, go online, you gotta find somebody who's doing something, like, the way you're doing it, and then you can, like, go from there, figure out what you want to do, how those classes work, try to learn about it. I'm like, I don't really know anybody who's trying to do it the way I'm doing it, or at least I wouldn't even know how to start looking for it. So I'm just like, I don't really know where to go.
I mean, I guess something that I'm doing recently is that I just started living it. I got tired of waiting for that person to see who was doing it my way.
Right.
Like, I'm just gonna start doing it my way, and someone will eventually come along, and maybe it won't be like someone that influences me personally, but if that someone happens to be like, say, perhaps a podcast audience.
Ooh.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Like, what could happen?
Maybe they hear this and kickstart it for us, perhaps.
Yeah, they just go crazy and start showing it to everyone.
Generosity.
Start playing it when they go to sleep,
That would be nice. That would be nice. Getting those monthly listeners, getting those numbers up.
Just put it on shuffle. I'm just saying, like, you fell asleep. Oh no, it played 4 or 5 times. What happened?
Ah, man, you left autoplay on YouTube. It's the problem.
Man, but it's because they really like it, right?
Yeah,
always.
Yeah, they didn't fall asleep halfway through.
And that's because they drank Mountain Dew. Word from our not actual sponsors.
Oh man, Mountain Dew. I've never actually had
all types of Mountain Dew.
No, I've never actually had Mountain Dew.
What?
No,
that's insane.
I am kind of not proud to admit
it. You're like pure.
Yeah, in a way,
you've been untainted.
I don't know. Like, it's been around me in my life. Like, obviously, Malchek, and he's had it before. I think I don't really know the times I can recall where he's like drinking, but he's definitely like said like I'm not a fan of Mountain Dew, but some of these are good. Specific ones I remember him like recommending me to one or something. But the point is, it's been around me before, and I just never even tried it. I don't know. It's just one of those things where it's like I see it all the time, but I never really stopped to look at it.
I didn't expect Mountain Dew to kind of like spur a conversation like this, and I'm not gonna lie, it's like a shit topic. Like that,
there you go.
Like that's what I came up with while you were talking. I'm just scrambling for other topics, and I picked Mountain Dew, and it's garbage. I'm glad you pulled it off, though.
It's the rambling. It's just rambling. You gotta figure out. You gotta go with. You gotta pick something and run with it for as long as you can, and then when you get tired, you put it down. You pick up the next one. That's how I'm doing.
Fuck.
But no, it's weird. Like, what do you recommend? If I had to drink Mountain Dew, what's a good opener? Like what's a good opening drink? What's a good opening drink to get me going on this here?
Oh my god, this is a shit topic. Probably just regular Mountain Dew. I mean, this isn't like a dig at the other Mountain Dews, but I feel like they can get a little gimmicky. So I feel like maybe just the regular one is like the perfect starter.
Right.
And if you'd never drank another one, I don't think anyone would look at you, strangely.
Thank God. Like, I don't know if it's one of those things where they're like, you don't drink Mountain Dew, what's wrong with you? And then I'm shamed by society, or at least those members of society forever.
I will say Mountain Dew Kickstarts are pretty good energy drinks, though. Again, not sponsored, for legal purposes.
It's free advertising.
I have to say that.
Well,
I don't know. They might not associate with us. They might be like, I don't know. They were talking about Butternut Squad. I don't fuck with those guys.
They've got a new imaginary sponsor every dang podcast. Just
right.
Keep going with this.
And who knows? Maybe there's a big beef between Big Butternut and Mountain Dew.
Perhaps. Maybe there's like an ancient feud for as long as they've been around. I don't know. Butternut's been around for a while. So if I had to pick a team for the Civil War, I'd probably have to go Team Butternut Squash. I'll be honest.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I probably would too. Sorry, Mountain Dew.
And there goes that sponsorship. If we ever get one in real life, they're gonna watch this back and they're like, oh, well, they're not worthy.
They're gonna make a butternut squash flavored Mountain Dew.
Here's the next idea for you, if you're listening. Mountain Dew aficionados, if that's what you prefer.
Like pumpkin spice Mountain Dew. It's like cursed. I don't know if either of those should ever exist.
Yeah, pumpkin spiced energy drink. It's hard for me to imagine that.
I mean, I guess normal latte would technically have caffeine in it, so would that make it an energy drink? In some sense?
Yeah, I feel like it's like an energy drink made for the morning. Like, I feel like you can't like crack open like a bottle of Mountain Dew for the morning and be like, time to get my day started. I feel like a good coffee is to get you started is good. And then like around lunchtime and beyond, you can have like a Mountain Dew. I feel like that's safe.
I think there's like a shameful amount of people that probably just heard that and were like, fuck.
Well, they're pouring it as they're listening to it right now, and they're like, and they stop halfway.
Yeah, I mean, no judgment to me personally. I've done that before. You know, I'm definitely a culprit. I'm just waking up and being like, I'll take a Mountain Dew to work, I guess.
I guess similarly, it's like having ice cream for the morning. Like I've had ice cream in the morning. Wasn't proud of it, but I did. I usually could have had like another breakfast option, but I've had ice cream before.
Wouldn't that be worse? Because there's not even caffeine in ice cream. Like, that's just pure gluttony at that point.
Purely for my enjoyment. Yeah, it's actually worse, I assume. Although it is a dairy product, so I don't know if that's like...
Oh, okay.
See?
So it's like partially breakfast?
Yeah, it's like solid milk, I guess.
What's the worst thing you could have for breakfast?
Oh, God. The worst possible thing that I could have for breakfast. I don't know. That's good.
A Long Island iced tea. That'd probably be a terrible breakfast option.
Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, they get you fucked up.
Really?
Yeah, they have like 5 different kinds of alcohol in them.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and a little bit of Coke. That's it.
I see why you call me pure now, because I just thought of a regular iced tea, and I was like, oh, okay. Why is that so bad? Just tea bag and a little bit of honey, a little bit of ice, some lemon square in there.
That sounds great, you know?
Yeah.
I bet Long Island does it also.
then here you go. You're like, oh, it's like 5 different types of alcohol. And then, oh, we're talking that. I see. No, that's a terrible morning starter.
Yeah, that'd be a horrible breakfast.
I feel like you're not feeling good about yourself if you start it that way. That's just bad. Just no. Just be very, very careful if you're doing that at home. That leads to bad things.
All right. We need more topics.
We need more content. You said you were looking at some.
Let's see, what's something you're interested in? Just name it out. Give me a word.
Just anything random.
Anything.
Van life, sure. Because I've been looking at that like as late as possible.
Wait, what was the word?
Van life, like VAN life.
Wait, I mean that's just a great topic. What the fuck? I don't need to look up anything about that.
Oh, amazing.
Why do you want to live the van life?
Oh God, there's so many reasons. So for those of you who don't know, van life is taking like a regular cargo van. So like think like Mercedes Sprinter vans, Ram ProMasters are one, Ford Transits, if you know what those are. Just regular like bulky cargo vans, and then converting the back of them into like a house, and then just driving that house wherever you want. So it's like a tiny RV that you build yourself in a way. And it's probably less expensive than just buying a straight up RV. But that's just one of the main reasons. Number one, it's less expensive than just buying one. I wouldn't really know where to buy one anyway. Number two, you can just go wherever you want. I could literally just drive. I could drive from here to like California, and I can sleep there along the way. I can stop at wherever I want, and
take the podcast with you.
Take the podcast with me. I literally could do the podcast like in the middle of nowhere if I had good reception. Of course, I don't think it would work without
Become a vlogger.
That would be interesting because I've seen a lot of people doing vlogging for van life stuff, and like they do like blogs and all the other stuff, and people like make money off of doing that. So I might possibly do that.
Did you hear about that one guy? I can't remember his name. That like recently, like was living van life with this girl and then just killed her.
Oh yeah, it's Brian something. I forget the whole case. I wasn't watching that, but yeah, I heard about that. It puts like a bad name now on van life because every time I mention that,
that's bad PR.
it's terrible PR. Because every time I mention it, people were like, "Oh yeah, that's what that Brian guy did. It wasn't?" And I was like, "Yeah, but that's Brian.
Yeah,
that's." Don't get me wrong here. We're not all Brians here. All right, we some of us just like to see trees. That's about it. But yeah, it's terrible PR. I can't really mention that without that coming up. It's a shame what happened though. It really is.
Yeah, and I feel like that's like definitely the main concern is like being murdered when you're out living in a van. So the fact that happened was like the worst possible thing that could have happened for the van life movement.
Yeah, and the only thing that makes it worse than that was like it was like a white Predator creeper van, like the classic.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, that just had to be that. It had, of all things, right. Like he couldn't have gotten like space gray Mercedes Sprinter. No. He went for baseline creepo status van, and I'm like, oh, great.
Right. An all white Ford Transit.
It's disgusting. God. And yeah, and that's
there goes our Ford sponsor.
Yeah, there goes. Ford, if you're listening to this, I'm terribly sorry. Your Ford Transits were actually one of my picks. I will be honest, but not exactly what I'm looking for. If I actually had to pick, I'd have to go to the ProMaster. In all honesty, because it's got the most space.
So you got this whole thing planned out. What's inside your van life?
Oh God.
Setup.
I've got in my head at least, got a kitchen. You know, it's got good plumbing. It's got the water running and everything. It's got the good sink. It's got a stovetop. Undecided of what that might be yet, but I've been looking at some good perks. Cabinets for storage and other like kitchenware. I actually want to get like a toaster oven kind of thing, kind of just like a quick little like microwave, you know,
okay.
Something along those lines, something small that I can stash somewhere, and that won't use up a whole lot of power. Because at the end of the day, you can have as much as you want in the van, but if you don't got enough power to do it, it's gonna be a bad time. Like if you've got like hundreds of appliances running, then
right.
You're gonna like suck up your energy and like I don't even like it's gonna be too quick. And solar is like kind of takes you a while to get that back.
I guess like how limited is that? Like, can you like run the shower and have your computer running and like Netflix on another TV at the same time?
People put TVs in their vans. I think it's just a terrible idea. It'll work, but again, that's just a lot of power consumption. So like I was instead of like putting a TV in, I was looking at like a projector. Because it's less power, and you can get some that are like only like 12 to 24 volts, and it saves on like plugging in this massive flat screen into the wall.
You scared me there for a second. I thought you were just gonna like hobo it and like rub two sticks together for fun.
Oh no, I gotta have technology in there. I'm gonna lose my mind if I don't have technology in this van. Being the youngster that I am from this generation, I can't live without technology. I really can't.
I don't think anyone can these days. We're too integrated by this point.
Yeah, no, that's just the thing. Like even it's like some adults who are like just new to the whole like technology wave. They're like, oh, I now I can't do anything without my iPhone, or like their iPhone 6 or whatever they have now.
I know, right? Like they were such boomers about it in the beginning, and then now they still can't like function. Like our whole society runs off of it, and they're just like, fuck, man, how do you do this?
Yeah, and then you get people who don't like want to adapt with it, so like it'll move like so quickly and you'll get like left behind in the technology wave, and they'll still have like, I don't know, like an Apple II sitting on their desk, and they're just like, I don't know how to use I don't know how to use any of the newfangled technologies and the Apple monitors, and I got my Apple II, and that's all I need. And it's just like,
Oh my god.
it's like sparking and fizzing out in the corner.
Yeah, it probably doesn't even fucking work anymore. That's his problem.
That's a major problem. I was looking at a ways to actually like put computers into the van as well, but it would be like a really like cheap setup, because I don't really want to like risk having it like broken into and stolen.
I mean, you'd be living in there, right? Presumably.
You would be, yeah. And like, but like on the off chance that like you stop at like a cafe or you go to see the Grand Canyon, you get back and your window's smashed, you kind of have a problem.
Right. Or worse, they just steal your fucking van.
They steal up and steal the whole thing. That actually happened to somebody. I was watching a video on like how to actually like live the van life, because it was like a solo van lifer, and like they park in like shady ass places, but they do like the stealth camping thing where it's like, oh, then you got no idea that I'm here, because like I use like the drapes and the shades and stuff like that.
Right.
Or you have like minimal windows. But she was like at like the coffee shop or something, and she was just like sitting at like a Starbucks just working on her computer, and then she comes back out to her van and it's just gone.
Oh my god.
And she's like, what do I do? Where do I go from here? And she was like calling her family, and they were like, oh, it's gonna take us a while to get there. she was like days away from her home, and she's like, so now I'm stuck here. Fuck. She had like rent out. Yeah. Oh god, it was terrible.
Imagine she just hit it too good. Like she stealthed up so hard she just couldn't find the van anymore, and now it's just lost.
Just hide it in a parking lot.
I just become an urban legend.
Completely lost it. I don't know what this. My van was right here in parking space 4B. I don't know where it's at now. But.
You read it in the next Goosebumps.
No, I haven't. I haven't actually. But yeah, but the van life thing is fun. I just like the idea of being able to go anywhere. And like see anything, because there's a lot of stuff that I would love to see, in this like country alone. Like I want to travel all over the world, but like there's like things that I gotta do and start with here, because like if I don't start here and I just like go to like Japan for like the first thing, then everything's like undersaturated. I feel I'm like, oh, it was way better in Japan. I want to be wowed every time I go.
I'm like, wow, this view would be so nice if I didn't live in such a shit country.
Yeah,
compared to Japan.
Wow, look, it's the Grand Canyon. Aren't you excited? I've seen better in Japan. You know, like I don't want that to happen.
Right.
I don't want that to happen. So I'm gonna try to like work my way up to the scenery. Because I wouldn't say like America's like the top anything when it comes to scenery. It's got like beautiful scenery, don't get me wrong. Everything here is beautiful, for the most part. But I feel like other countries kind of rise above America when it comes to like the environment and just natural wonders.
Maybe. I mean, we have some pretty awesome stuff, like the Devil's Tower. I mean, that shit ain't nowhere else.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's crazy as fuck.
Yeah, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not like dissing America, saying like, "Oh, America's trash."
No.
We got nothing.
I don't think you're dissing America. I'm of the belief that every country has like its own, like super amazing spots.
Yeah,
and I think they're just different colors, like different styles of it. I don't think anyone's really like better than the other. I mean, some of them are objectively cooler. Like, shit, bro. If you have pyramids in your country, I mean, you just won the lottery on that one. Like, that's dope as fuck.
Oh yeah. I'd love to see pyramids eventually. Like I was just scrolling through Instagram on like I don't know, I forget where I was, but I was on Instagram and this couple was like just taking like casual pictures in front of the pyramid. And I'm like, how are you not like wowed by this? You must like live right next door to it, and you must see it every day. Even then, if I lived, I'd see it every day. Yeah, even if I saw it every day, I'd be like, wow, beautiful. To this day, for the 36th time in a row, like I would never like stop being baffled by that.
Imagine they're like total fuddy-duddies about it. Oh, look at this amazingly tall structure that was built before we even had, like, the faculties to do it.
Seen it all.
Whatever. They're all over the world. It's not special.
They're like at work. They're meet a tourist. They're like, "Excuse me, do you know how to get to the Great Pyramids? Why would you want to go there?"
Always with the Great Pyramid this, Great Pyramid that.
Go somewhere else. Just tired of hearing about the pyramids, man. But you live like 2 blocks down from them. I know, but you really think that was my choice? Might have been. God. But yeah, again, travel is just like, I don't know. Travel's great.
Yep, travel's cool.
Don't know where I'm going or where I'm gonna like stop with that, but
yeah, I mean, I feel like we're a little against the odds here with just 2 of us.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like when there's a thunderstorm and you and the person you're next to have to just hide in a cave until it passes.
Yeah, basically.
We're just talking about anything. Like,
This is just.
Do you have a family?
So, how about the weather? What's going on over there? The best part is, right? 2 of them are online right now. I feel like they're just sitting there, just watching it. Like, wow, it's really those 2 just sitting in the call, isn't it?
Right. They're both just like, no, we're not going to join the podcast. We're too busy for that.
Yes, we see you. No, we're not joining.
The first episode was cool. Now it's lame.
Yeah. I can't get enough of this idea. I was like, at the end of that last podcast, I was like, yeah, this is fun. I want to do it again. I come right back, and I'm here, and nobody's here. Right. we gotta sort out Machek's audio issues and Discord issues, because I'd love for him to be on here too. Heather as well.
I really do. I almost texted one of my old friends and was like, yo, do you want to be on a podcast?
Oh, today would have been a good day to have somebody feature. Oh, man.
Right? Just like a random day.
Yeah, like I feel like if we're understaffed, if you will, on the podcast, we should just be like, we should get a feature in. It doesn't have to be anybody like crazy. It doesn't. Like, obviously, we're not going to get Morgan Freeman in 3 days, but like, still.
Can you imagine? That would be the craziest shit ever.
If we had a chance to get somebody big on this podcast, who would you want? Like, if you could bring anybody to this podcast to have a chat, who would you bring in here?
I'd probably bring on Ryan Reynolds.
I would be down for that.
Because I feel like he would have like some super good knowledge on how to make a good podcast. And he's Ryan Reynolds.
And it's just Ryan Reynolds in general. Yeah, I feel like if we got Ryan in here, it would be great. Ryan, if you're listening for some off reason, or like, I don't know, if somebody's watching this while you're working with them on set, drop by, give us a call, shoot us an email.
Oh yeah,
text us if you have our number.
Yeah, for us in our inbox that we don't have set up.
Yeah, our company email that we totally have. Just give us a drop
in the descriptions. All right.
Do we actually have a company email?
No.
Dang it. Well, now how's Ryan gonna reach us? He's got no idea.
He can hit us in the YouTube comments.
True. This'll work.
Could you imagine? It's like, yo, put me on.
We get a check mark down there. We immediately know who it is.
Dude. And I feel like he would know so many people too. Like, how would any celebrity deny, like, hey, Ryan Reynolds recommends you go on this podcast?
God, that would be the gateway to the success.
I guess that would be assuming that he liked being on our podcast. He might get off and be like, fuck these losers.
Yeah. He might be here for like 30 minutes and he's just like, all right, guys, it's good talking to you. And he just leaves.
Right. I'd be like, all right, well.
These kids aren't giving me anything to work with. I feel like he could stand alone, though. I feel like he could stand alone. I feel like he could do really well with this.
Honestly, I feel like you could have a podcast with just Ryan Reynolds alone.
Yeah.
And he would be fine.
He could come up with his own topics and answer them and give him enough fuel to like go to the next topic.
He'd also be the audience.
He's also the audience. Surprisingly, he edits them too. He's just one man army.
My gosh, that guy must be so busy.
Yeah, I wonder what the average life of Ryan Reynolds is like. What he does, start to finish.
I couldn't even imagine. I mean, like, he's not even like a particularly weird dude, so you can't even like make fun of him and be like, oh, he'll do something weird. Like, he's just, I don't know, being a good person.
He's just a good dude.
Right.
I feel like if you told me every morning when Ryan Reynolds wakes up, he goes down to the NASCAR track and does like 8 laps for no other reason than he wants to, I would just be like, yeah, I can get behind that. Like, I just totally agree. Like, yeah, it's something somebody would do.
See, he's like amorphous. He doesn't have a shape. He blends into any setting. You could probably say anything he does in his mornings, and people would be like, I could see it.
Yeah, I mean, he does like phone ads now, which is like number one.
He owns Mint.
Yeah, he owns Mint, and like, it's just, I don't know how he like is shapeless like that. Like, he can just like do so many things and just make it work. Like, not everybody can just be like, oh, I'm an actor and I own Mint Mobile. I don't know how that works.
He also owns a gin company.
Does he?
Yeah, he does. He owns Aviation Gin.
The hell? What else does this guy do?
Dude, it's what I'm saying. Like, you put Ryan Reynolds in a room and he just fills it. But like, whatever shape it is, like water, he'll fill that that volume.
Now I'm looking it up. What does Ryan Reynolds do?
I feel like this was all out of spite for being cast as the Green Lantern. Like, he never wanted to feel that feeling again.
Yeah. Now he's just doing everything other than being Green Lantern again.
Literally anything else. He's become the Ring that just conjures anything.
It's like it's like just, you know, doing the main quest and then just going on to complete every single side quest ever. Like, he's already done multiple movies. He's practically completed the main quest line by now. Now he's just doing the side quests for fun. Like, he's just finishing Skyrim at this rate. He's just doing everything.
Oh, well, I guess all I have to do is go to Hoenn Garden
and just become the owner. Why not?
Right.
Again, like The Rock does the same thing. He's literally done like so much work as like a movie professional, like a professional great actor. He did wrestling. He made a rap song now. Like, he's just out here just like doing the side challenges.
The Rock made a rap song?
Oh, you don't know about that?
When?
Oh my god. Wait, do you not know about that?
No, I don't know.
Oh my god, it's everywhere in meme culture. Oh my god. I need to figure out what the name of the song is now. Because, yeah, he featured in somebody's rap song.
In Tech 9?
In Tech 9's raps? Yeah. And his...
Oh, shit.
He features in it. And he's got, like, his own bar and everything, and everybody's just, like, been, like, hyping it up and freaking out over it. People are like, oh, it's so good, and people are like, oh, no, this is trash. People have, like, such a mixed response to it.
Right. We're gonna have a whole thing right now. So, if you're at home watching this, I want you to look up Tech 9's Face Off. It's featuring Joey Cool, King ISO, and Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Now I'm gonna count down, and we're all gonna start the video.
Oh.
At the same time, and we're really gonna like peer review this, get a real consensus here on how this song is.
There's only like one part we need to say. I feel like we just need to like look at The Rock. Like, I'll be honest. I've never listened to Tech 9 in my life. I just have not even bothered with it. But I will say The Rock's part in the song, it's great. I genuinely appreciate it.
So are you against this idea?
No, I love it. Let's do it.
All right.
Against it. I'm all for it. I already got the link later.
Do you have the... you got it pulled up? You're ready?
I'm ready.
Let me preload the ads.
Should we just skip to his part, or should we listen to the whole song? Because the song's like 5 minutes long.
I'm down for the whole song, but...
Because I actually haven't listened to the whole song. I can understand
why... Okay, yeah, let's just do the whole song.
Let's do it.
Oh, it's like the whole music video.
I will.
It's like our live reaction.
The instrumental
We're
are,
becoming
are
that kind
fire.
of like. Okay.
I will
All
say.
right. All right. So, you're at 0.
I'm at 0.
All right. I'm at 0.
All right, let's do it.
Just like we're doing the clap, but we're hitting play instead.
All right.
3, 2, 1, play.
There he is.
Dwayne's already in it. What the fuck? Is that what actually happened? Did Dwayne the Rock Johnson call Tech9 and be like, "Yo, put me on"?
I would love to think so. I really would like to think that happened. He's just like, hey,
Tech9's just like, whatever.
Can I feature on a song really quick?
Okay. Cinematography is pretty good so far.
No, yeah, it's actually really good. I haven't gotten even this far into it, other than just listening to the Rock's part.
I mean, this is like a classic Tech9 song, and it's good in my opinion.
So you listen to Tech9?
Not like heavy, but I've heard a decent amount of Tech9.
Well, this is like the first time I've actually listened to something by this person.
Yeah, he did a couple. Wow, that guy's really going in. But Tech9 does a collab with System of a Down, and they have a few songs together.
Oh.
And that's how I got put on.
Now I'm just gonna say like, oh, how'd you get involved with Tech9? When did you start listening to him? Oh, The Rock was on one of his songs one time. I just knew about it from meme culture. I feel like everyone's gonna hate me for that. I feel like it's in like 2 years they're gonna be like, if you got into Tech9 because The Rock was on his song, you're corny. I'm like, oh great.
Dude, I'm surprised if anyone still gives a fuck about Tech9  2 years from now. People don't give a fuck about Tech9 now. Like,
I mean, it makes sense because I'm only hearing about him now.
my gosh, this guy is really going in. It's going crazy.
No, yeah, this is good. Woo!
Oh, here it is.
Awesome. Oh, here he is.
The line.
Anybody who's into meme culture right now, or just like the song in general, they're gonna go in hard on this. Rock!
Okay, okay.
It's like actually not bad.
Dude, that was more than just a line.
One take.
Just like this podcast.
One take. Only one. One chance.
All right.
Thoughts?
Well, that was actually pretty sick. Dwayne The Rock Johnson is now a fucking rapper.
Yeah,
And Tech9's coming back for like the 3rd time in his career.
No, I'm glad I'm glad I'm glad I said something. Because I couldn't imagine that you didn't know about that.
No. I mean, I don't ever use like TikTok. I guess we kind of touched on that last
We
episode.
did, yeah.
Um,
I mean, that makes sense.
so I'm not. I always end up like a week or so late to the memes, unless they show up on Reddit, which is a god awful website.
God, I would. Yeah, I know. Yeah, what it is. I would have thought that it would be on like Reddit for like seconds within when it actually dropped.
You know, you think Dwayne the Rock Johnson being a rapper would be all over Reddit, but somehow it wasn't.
That's interesting.
You know, I guess it was more important that suicide booths are passing legal assessments in Switzerland.
I'm sorry.
And I guess I guess that is in some ways a little more interesting. You know, I can't entirely blame Reddit for that particular decision. That was maybe a poor example.
What?
Hold on, let me look it up real quick. It's like one of the top posts on Reddit right now.
See, when you say that,
As of December 5th, on this recording.
when you say that, I immediately think of like Futurama.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I think that's what everyone thinks. So this is only the headline. I have not read the article. However, the headline reads, Sarko, which is I'm assuming the company creating this, Sarko suicide capsule passes legal review in Switzerland. And I'm not sure what that means. You know,
Where are we supposed to go from that?
Right.
What are we gonna do with that knowledge?
Yeah, are we just making those now? Are we manufacturing suicide capsules? What does it mean to pass legal review? Does that mean a judge looked at it?
And they approved it. Like this is a good idea. They thought that
Oh,
was a good
great.
idea.
It's 3D printed, so we can mass manufacture these. I can make one myself.
All you have to do is just get the CAD file and have a big enough 3D printer. Wow, amazing! God, why? Why is that a
Make
thing?
your own suicide capsule once it passes. I guess further legal review.
I'm astonished that people think that this is a good idea.
Okay. I'm reading this a little further. Apparently, it can legally be operated in Switzerland.
To like end somebody's career entirely?
Okay. Well, I mean, I think it's like an ulterior or an alternate option to assisted suicide because apparently they've been doing this for a while now. Well, not like a super long time, but there's like two assisted suicide organizations. Actually, there's a bunch of them apparently, but
Assisted suicide.
Exit and Dignitas. Oh my god, this is so much.
What?
This is so much to take in.
I'm glad you're doing it. My brain would explode trying to process this.
Oh, and they made a drug that it will make a person fall asleep in 2 to 5 minutes before slipping into a deep coma, followed soon afterwards by death.
Why
Okay.
has science gone too far?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that seems enough. Why do we need this pod to like shake you around and kill you?
Okay, several problems. One, has science gone too far? have we delved into the reality that maybe we're just creating things purely out of boredom?
I don't even know if I can comment on the morality of this. It's too much. It's too big for me to handle.
I don't think that's a good idea with places.
I'm not touching that one.
Yeah, this is a touchy subject. We're gonna pass this on. Oh my god.
So this is how it does it, right? The capsule is sitting on a piece of equipment that will flood the interior with nitrogen, rapidly reducing the oxygen level to 1%.
I see.
And a person may feel disoriented and slightly euphoric before they lose consciousness. And in about 30 seconds, you die. Through hypoxia and hypocapnia.
Good lord.
Which is oxygen and carbon dioxide deprivation.
Yeah, so they're just basically smothering you until you...
Yeah.
So is there like a... Oh, man.
It says there's no panic and no choking feeling, so it's like a pleasant death. That's it.
I guess you
just want to go out, and it's like, go ahead, hop in our, Six Flags bus. We'll take you to death town.
What happened to like the suicide prevention stuff? You know,
I mean,
like the ads were saying like, if you see the signs, tell somebody, talk to them. You know, like call an official. They used to like leave like hotlines for this stuff everywhere. Now,
there's literally an ad. There's an ad at the bottom of this article. Why assisted suicide is normal in Switzerland.
what?
In Switzerland, assisted suicide is considered a legitimate way to end your life.
Oh my god. I don't think this should be a thing.
I mean, I feel like it makes sense for like a vegetative person. I don't know if this is gonna be like on every corner like it is in Futurama. I mean, that would seem maybe you have to go in and you have to like at least sign a waiver or something.
Is this a crime against humanity?
Is this a crime? I mean, if they want to die, they willingly choose it. Is it a crime?
So what was the
Oh,
previous? I can't say. I guess we know what the previous option was before this, but like,
yeah.
but was there like like some kind of procedure before this that people could do like legally to get out of jail free card? I don't know. Is this
well,
like
specifically in Switzerland, you could have taken that drug and then just fallen asleep and died in 5 minutes. So this is actually faster.
good lord? See, I feel like if this was. I feel like this is in America. There would be a lot of uproar about this. I feel like as an American citizen, there's a few problems with this.
Like Americans can't decide on things, though. That's why it would be such a hot button topic.
Yeah, I'm surprised I have not heard about that. That's insane.
Oh, that was today or yesterday, actually.
Oh, so it's very
This
recent.
article was
Yeah.
posted. Yeah.
Oh my god.
And I think this is from their country's website, swissinfo.ch. Yeah, but there you go. So I guess
This is the future. This.
I'm not gonna finish that sentence.
Yeah, no.
You know,
I don't think we should. I think we should just leave it as it is. Let sleeping dogs lie. I think if we want to podcast for a little bit longer, I feel like we should just hold on to things.
Maybe, yeah. So anyway, that's what's on Reddit.
That's the Reddit news. So I see what you mean now by Reddit is a completely different society. If we end up cutting all of that out of the premiere, I feel like the audience should know that we dove into something we possibly shouldn't have.
Oh no, we're not cutting that out.
Oh no, it's in. It's staying in.
It's staying in.
Oh god, man,
it wasn't incriminating.
It's not
in any
incriminating.
nature.
No. God,
we didn't advocate for anything.
I genuinely don't like it, but that's just me. I don't know. To me that seems insane. But again, sleeping dogs, just let it be.
Yeah. Well, that's like your opinion, man.
Damn, that's just like your opinion, dude. Come on, bro.
All right. Well, we've been running for just over an hour now. Should we wrap up?
Sure. This could be a short one.
Yeah, I think the last one was an hour and 20.
Was it an hour 20? Yeah.
I mean, I just figured we wrap up whatever, and
I think we did good here. I think we did well.
Yeah.
It just goes to show that, like I guess, two people still can make a functioning podcast. This is great.
Yeah, that's right. Screw the other people on this podcast didn't show up.
Leave that in. They'll catch that one on the premiere. We won't say that we said that. They'll just have to listen to it themselves.
Right, when they get to the end, they get a big "fuck you" from me.
Oh man!
All right. Well, I guess that's all.
This was episode 1 of the Dungeon Dwellers podcast. Thank you for tuning in again. I have been Magic Man.
Oh, yes, yeah, and I'm Brand. Shit.
That's on brand.
I thought there was more. I thought you were gonna say more. Fuck.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night, everybody.
Everyone.
Have a good one. Have a good week. Have a good day. Have a good morning if you're enjoying this in the morning. Have a good time.
Bye.
Goodbye.